Speaking of 9 out of 10s, One Cut of the Dead.
I give this a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
I loved this movie. It's the most fun I've ever had at a zombie movie.
Well, that's okay. 2019, Japanese subtitled. Directed by Shinichirô Ueda, written by him and Ryoichi Wada. Stars Takayuki Hamatsu, Yuzuki Akiyama, and Haruki Shuhama. Hour and 36 minutes. Amazon link in the show notes.
Watch this one.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. It's good, then it's good again.
It's good 3 different ways, really.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay, before we get into it, the first 37 minutes is one zombie movie. It's a zombie movie.
And it's one continuous cut.
The undead attack, and it's the girl and
yeah.
the guy fighting the zombies. And it's actually one unbroken cut. You can follow the camera following these people around. There's no breaks. There's no changing scenes or any of that. The camera chases them up the stairs and out into the field and so forth. Which, if you've ever done any kind of filmmaking, you know is difficult.
Yeah.
Then when that's over, the second third of the movie is watching what happened like in the past month as the actors prepare for the movie, prepare to film. And then the last third is watching them make the film live. You see like the first third over again from behind the camera, and you see exactly how they did it.
How they did all the special effects and made it seamless. And it doesn't necessarily go smoothly, and they're having to improvise on the fly, and it's just a hoot. Yeah.
Yeah. We begin with a zombie cornering a girl and biting her to death. Cut! Oh, it's just a film crew making a zombie movie. This is the 42nd take. The director yells at the leading woman that he wants to see real fear and yells at her to quit acting. He may be overreacting just a little bit himself. She just doesn't look scared enough. So then they all go on break, allowing the actors and the makeup lady to talk, and she explains that some real horrors happened here in the past. The Japanese army conducted experiments related to raising the dead. Changing the subject, we also hear that the makeup lady also teaches self-defense. One of the crew goes outside to smoke and runs into an old man who is now wearing zombie makeup. He's one of the crew also.
And he thinks, wow, you're all made up.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Until he chomps
Except
him.
it's not makeup.
Yeah.
He bites the crewman's arm off, and the other actors then find his arm on the floor. Naturally, they think it's part of the movie. Then the old man comes in and attacks, and they all believe it's for real. Especially when the now one-armed crewman gets up and attacks from the rear, chasing them all throughout the abandoned water treatment plant. The cameraman yells, "You can't fake this!" and keeps on rolling his camera. The sound guy runs out and gets killed too. The director pushes a zombie back into the room and shouts, "Action!" He wants a zombie film.
He wants a real zombie film.
They start filming with real zombies, and yes, the actors does look scared now. They all go outside and run to the car. There's a foot chase where the actress has to battle the one-armed zombie and the old man for the car keys. And she injures her ankle. Or maybe it was bitten. The makeup lady wants to kill her with an axe until the leading man instead axes the makeup lady in the head. The main girl then hides out in a shed, possibly the only one left alive, except she's worried about that cut on her ankle. She finds an axe and then has to fight the leading man who died somewhere off screen. The director is still filming, and this is going to be the climax of his movie. She cuts off the star's head and then kills the cameraman too.
And the director.
She wins.
She kills everybody.
Oh, the director. I'm saying cameraman and director. They're the same guy here.
Okay, yeah.
And then the credits roll at 37 minutes in. Cut, shouts the director. Then we jump back a month to a month before.
Where they're all getting hired, and he's been hired to direct this zombie project. That they want to do a live show on television of a continuous story. And
Sounds like a challenge.
It sounds like a challenge. And then he has a challenge hiring the right people and getting, and there's some last minute cast replacements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the directors are working on a film, and a man comes to see him pitching an idea for a zombie film. They describe the plot of what we just saw, and it'll be shot in one long cut and broadcast live for the premiere of the new Zombie channel. And the film will be called One Cut of the Dead. The director is all in for it. Then the credits roll again. English credits this time. I think the first one was the credits of the short, This is the credit of what comes after.
Right.
I couldn't read the first one, so I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, the director and his wife, who eventually play the makeup lady, are discussing the film project. The director's daughter just got fired from a job teaching acting, and she has a crush on the actor who will eventually become the leading man. And I guess there's a plan to make a series after the movie. Mm-hmm. So they tempt the leading man in with the series by saying you got to do the movie first.
Right, yeah.
What would be really funny is if they actually made a series.
Mm-hmm. An actual series.
A real series, yeah. We then get a large number of scenes where the actors rehearse and organize for the filming. These are funny at times, but are at least sort of based on the kind of thing that would go on before a real film shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Things go wrong, and the actors and crew have to deal with it. They can't stop filming because this is live. We saw how everything was shot, how half of it wasn't scripted, and the other half was improvised because of problems during the live shoot. Eventually, we see that everything we saw in the uncut part of the film actually makes sense. And there are some weird things. One of the zombies spits all over somebody. Somebody else, there's a scene where she's hanging onto this antenna for way too long. Mm-hmm. It just seemed like a weird scene. And some other goofy things that aren't quite right for a horror movie. And then we see
where they freeze too.
Oh yeah, the zombie froze a couple of times.
Yeah, the zombie froze and stopped moving. Why?
And it's like,
well, you find out why.
It's kind of weird when you're watching it, but there could be a reason for it, so you let it go. And it's didn't particularly stand out as a bad horror movie, the first part.
No.
But then later you see why those things happen, and it's even better.
Yes. Yeah.
This was really, really well done. Even ignoring the first 37 minutes, really was all done in one take. The second part, where we see the actors putting it all together, was just as good. All the things that don't quite make sense or look like mistakes or plot holes for the first time around are explained eventually. Zombies that spit, shots that linger a little too long, and unexplained appearances that we mostly dismissed in the real film all have reasons behind them. Mm-hmm. And I have to wonder how they made this. Did they do the one cut first and then they staged the other stuff to explain the one cut? Or was it all kind of planned to begin with?
Yeah, well, they would have had to plan it, but I think they probably staged the continuous thing. Oh, which one of the actresses said that it took 6 tries to get that continuous take. They actually did it perfectly on the second try, but the camera guy screwed up the equipment and it wasn't filmed right.
Time for a new camera
The footage
guy.
wasn't usable, so they had, try number 6 was the one they used. Yeah. And that's our show. Stop in during the week to the website, horrorguys.com. Check us out on social media, or tune into the full-length audio podcast.
Yes, everything here, our weekly show is done as a full-length, around an hour audio podcast each week,
where we talk about all the movies. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That helps us out. Give some likes and subscribes.
Yep. And horrorguys.com has, of course, all our reviews in writing. If you want to read more, sometimes we'll forget the line here or there. So if you want to read them, check out horrorguys.com.
Yeah.
And I'm Brian.
I'm Kevin.
And we'll see you at the next movie.
See ya.